Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of The Perfect Rise Conversations with the RBA. I'm so excited. Today, I am here with one of our esteemed certified master bakers, Chef LeeAnn Adams. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing lovely. I am doing lovely. So, we are going to jump right in this conversation so that our listeners can get a better understanding of what the CMB exam is, what that certification looks like for people, and kind of like the future of our industry with what this can look like, right? So, the first question I have for you is for those who are unfamiliar with the CMB designation, can you share what it represents and why it is such an important credential in our industry?
It is the credential for the master. It is the top of the peak. It says to anybody that sees that credential, you have spent a lifetime working at this, except for Austin, who got his when he was very young. But for most of us, we work very hard for a very long time in order to be able to pass an exam that covers multiple areas of skill and be able to do it when you're stressed and under not the most favorable conditions sometimes. So it is an indication that you've mastered something. You're at the top of your game. That says a lot.
It does. I agree. I've been talking to CMBs on the road, and they're all just like, "It is indeed a test." I was
It is
like,
not an
"Okay."
easy test. It looks like an easy test on paper. It is not. It's a very hard test.
Okay, so perfect segue. So can you walk us through your own journey to becoming a certified master baker? Like what
Yeah.
inspired you to pursue it?
Had started working at the Culinary Institute of America as a new instructor in the baking and pastry department, and I was surrounded by these super talented pastry chefs and bakers, and almost all of them had their CMB. And when I talked to them, they all talked about the journey of getting it and how it impacted them, how it made them better, how it forced them to grow. That credential did for them academically. It led to promotions. It was utilized by the school for marketing campaigns. Students looked up to it, parents looked up to it. It was something to go after. So as soon as I was eligible to take the exam, I signed up and I was ready. I was stoked to go get this.
I love it. Okay, so the CMB process includes written exams, practical tests, and a portfolio. What part of the process challenged you the most, and what did you gain from it?
The whole thing's challenging. The whole thing, start to finish. It ran the gamut. The written test is a wide array of general and very specific knowledge in baking. And then the practical test is a haul. It's an 8-hour day. The first day, 8 the second, and you don't stop. And it is it is a test. You don't know some of the items you're making until you get there, which plays with your head. Depending on where you are, you could be traveling and show up in a kitchen you've never worked in, baked in. You don't know where anything is, and that messes with your head. And you've probably at this point told everybody you know you're taking the CMB test and you don't want to screw it up, and that messes with your head. And it's a hard test. I tell people it's like your worst day at work. Everybody's called off sick and the refrigerators went down and you lost all your mise en place, and everything has to be made from scratch by you and you alone. You're it. We don't normally work that way. Bakers don't work that way. We're pack rats. We put stuff in the freezer. We put stuff in the fridge. We're not a la minute people. So this is
Mhm.
hard. It's hard, really hard.
That's okay. So I think it is important for people to understand like the certified master baker is master baker, right? Like this requires some things for you to know. So let's talk about standards for the CMB testing. How does achieving the CMB push bakers to reach a new level of quality, leadership, and consistency?
Quality lives with the product you're making. You have to make a certain level of quality to pass the exam. It's being judged by other master bakers who know what they're looking at. You're You've got to be on point. That is, and again, it's a multitude of products. Most bakers or pastry chefs will settle into one kind of area. You'll decorate cakes or you'll make bread. This covers all of them. It goes across the board. So you're being pushed. Most people are not overly proficient at everything. So that's a push for you to become that level at everything. You have to practice and you have to push. Leadership. To do this, you have to practice, which means you have to organize your work schedule, your home life schedule, everything in your life around taking time to put in 8-hour practice runs, multiples over and over again. So those are leadership skills. You're communicating, you're scheduling, you're ordering food supplies, you're scheduling space. All of these things lead to management and leadership. They're behind the scene, but they're there. You're working on it and you're getting better every day. And the last one I forget was quality and leadership and something else really important.
Consistency.
Consistency. Consistency is the hobnobs of bakeries. You have to be able to make the same item every day, the same way every day. You can't have a chocolate chip cookie one way one day and next week, make it a little different. That doesn't work. So you have to be consistent in what you're doing. And consistency leads to your timeline. It's a time test. So being consistent, doing it the same way every time, same size, same weight, same result, plays into your timing. And those are really important things. But consistency in baking is paramount.
From your perspective, how has being a CMB impacted your career and opened up new opportunities?
Well, this is big. Initially, it helped me get promotions at work, which, everybody likes that. You get a pay raise. I wound up leaving that employer and looking for another job, and it stands out on a resume. My former boss told me when he saw my resume, he actually thought the CMB was a joke. He didn't believe it was real, that somebody was playing a trick on him, that a CMB didn't land in his lap. But there I was, right in his office for an interview. It opens doors. It gets you into places. I mentioned it also is able to be used by your employer for marketing and other campaigns. It is a level of quality that is recognized by customers, so it's worth being put out there. It opens a group of people to you. The RBA opens up to you. The group of CMBs opens up to you. You gain this pool of experts that you can contact, you can reach out to. And instead of like, who do I call to figure out how to get my oven working? You now have, which one of the 12 people I met do I call first? They're there. They're all willing to help. They're all in this because they love baking. They love baking business, and they're an amazing group of people. So multiple things happen when you can put those letters behind your name.
I love that. And you know what? Perfect segue into a question I have for you. So in thinking about like once they do it, right, that now they have this community of other CMBs. Can you talk to me a little bit about how does the RBA support bakers who are pursuing the certification? And
Yeah.
what role do mentors like you play in that process?
The mentoring role is a big thing. Every test has at least one, usually two mentors assigned to it. This is decided ahead of time. We know we're signing up for it, and we know there's a time commitment with it, so we're ready and willing to do that. It is the best way a candidate can utilize the RBA. That on their own they have to practice. That is theirs, and instantly as a judge you can see when somebody practices and when they don't. It is necessary to practice. The thing the RBA can help you with is the mentorship aspect. We're willing to talk to you, go through the test with you, answer your questions, explain things, give you the judge's perspective on what we're looking for in each product. Do you want this to be dark? Do you want it to be light? Do you want it to have open cell structure? Do you like this filling with this pastry? All of those questions. Is this the right size? Should it be glazed? Everything. The gamut. We get the gamut, and every one of us patiently and willingly answers all of those questions. I love questions. I want everybody to come into this test ready to go and know what they're doing. Be very clear on this is what we want you to do. Utilize the mentorship program. It's not any kind of sign that you can't do this by yourself. No. One of the great things about becoming a master baker for me was understanding that that's part of mastering something is knowing when you need your questions answered and who to go ask them to. Also feedback, being willing to take criticism and feedback, be willing to listen openly to what we're saying on your products. We see stuff that isn't up to standard, and we're going to tell you. We're not going to let you proceed with that. So that's another part of it. We're all very kind. None of us are brutal, but we'll get you through it. We'll get you through it. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you pass. So we're here for you. We're here. Just utilize us. And
I
Marissa and
love
the
it.
rest of the RBA crew can answer questions like, how do I pay for this? Or where do I stay at what hotel? Those kinds of things. Everybody's welcome.
Yes. I love that is super insightful information for people to understand what will happen along the journey that we're not just going to throw them into this test. But in your experience and after years of doing this, what do you think holds some qualified bakers back from pursuing this certification? And what encouragement would you offer them?
I think um, not understanding the benefits of doing this. What's it going to get me? I've heard people say this. Well, what's it going to do for me? And I think the RBA has started to do a much better job of getting that message out. What a CMB certification can do for you. Um, and the other thing is it's a time commitment. So being able to work that into your schedule, realistically, maybe this year isn't the best year for you, but I wouldn't let go of it. It's a really valuable certification. There are a lot of amazing good things that come from this. And the thing is, you don't know you're going to use it later on in life. You don't know what's around the corner, and it just may pop up like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. I needed that door opened. I needed those people. Yeah.
Yes. So where do you see the future of certification heading within our industry, especially for younger bakers coming up?
That's a good question. For younger bakers, well, I think certification's growing. I think, and particularly with the younger bakers I've interacted with, I don't want to make a generalization that every young baker is this way, but my contact has been they're much better at digital media and everything than I am. I'm a dinosaur. There is a, an ability to market themselves, to put their brand, if you want to call it that, out there and utilize all these different platforms in that manner. This is something that goes with that instantaneously. To be able to utilize that while you are putting yourself out there, no matter what digital area you're utilizing, but it's not something you have to explain a whole lot. I think anybody who sees master of bake, okay, I get it. This isn't a hard acronym to figure out. It is really useful. I think people job jump more than they used to. When I was young, the idea was to get a job and keep a job. My first big job I kept for 17 years. People don't do that much anymore. So being able to change a job or change a career, change a location, um, this helps. So I think being able to get certified and utilize those in your search for whatever makes you happy in the universe is a good thing. And it makes you better. Across the board, it makes you better. You do it.
Agreed. And we have several certifications in addition to the CMB that I'll definitely make sure are like in our show notes and you guys can read more on that one. This has been super, super insightful, and I'll definitely also link to Austin's because he gave us a little bit of the behind the scenes and how he had to study and like do this for 10 weeks and how he had his students like help out with the rehearsing when he did this for like 10 weekends in a row to prepare, and he was really singing your praises on
He
that
was an
episode.
everyday entity in my life for a while, which is okay. He would
Yes.
he would pop in, he would send me pictures, he would ask me questions, and he did spectacular. It was a joy to watch him in the test. It's what we want to see. So
Yes.
utilize us. We'll help you.
Yes. So we're definitely going to link to that one. So if you're interested in CMB, definitely go listen to Chef Austin's interview. He like gives us the full gamut of all the things. It was so fun. But for my final question for you, Chef LeeAnn, what legacy do you hope to leave through your work as a certified master baker, an advocate for excellence in baking?
I want to change somebody. If it's just one person, make a difference. I think it's really important to realize this isn't all about you. So to be able to give back and help others in this journey is powerful stuff to me. It really means something, and I hope I can do that. I hope I make a difference. I hope I give back. A lot of people gave to me when I was young, and I hope I repay that.
I think you are.
I hope so.
I totally think you are.
I hope. Do good things in the world. Yes. Be nice.
And be nice. Absolutely. Chef Leah, this has been so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of The Perfect Rise. If you guys are coming to IBIE, make sure you stop by the RBA Baker Center. Chef LeeAnn will be over there. That's home base for her. Or hop over and find me at the booth. I'll let you know where she is. We'll be tag teaming right there next to each other in Vegas. Until next time, you guys, stay sweet. Chef LeeAnn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I had a blast. Take care.